Welcome into the Sporty Show, everyone. Happy Monday to all. And oh my goodness, what a weekend of football it was. Barcelona had their first loss in Spain, while Real Madrid and Atletico caused one another pain. Erik ten Hag still has a job after Spurs/United, but it was Cole Palmer who was the one to give London all the delight. Kai Havertz saved the day for Arteta's side, while Anthony Gordon carried Newcastle's pride. Munich and Leverkusen were held at a stalemate, while over in Italy, Samardzic saved Atalanta quite late. I am Sara, and I'm joined with the one and only Klinton.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what are you guys saying? Yeah, it's been a very crazy weekend, but let's not go into it just yet. Just before we introduce the tallest man in Madrid, let's speak about the person who confirmed everything I've always said about Alex on this show. Just wait for it, wait for it, wait for it.
Para eso vamos aquí.
So guys, if you guys are wondering what is going on there, that is Real Madrid's defender, Jose Jimenez.
Atletico Madrid.
Oh, sorry. Oh my God.
You almost had it.
No. I mean, I think it's your height that confused me again. But yeah, I mean, that's just the Atletico Madrid players confirming that, yeah, what the hell is this? And then obviously, the player Korea that you were interviewing, wait, is like this sincere, what's his real height? Because I felt that guy was an ant.
I actually don't know. I'd have to look it up.
I'm taller than him. I did a flash interview with him, and I'm taller than him, so we'll leave that there.
God. I felt like he was some 4-year-old baby you were interviewing. Like, how did he get... Like, look at...
I guess that does confirm. I do think I'm the second tallest man in Madrid because Sergio Baca is taller than me. But
oh, right, okay.
I'll take the title.
Fair enough. I mean, I wish I had, some kind of physical, physical attributes that would amaze people. I mean, people say I'm very cute, like I'm a very handsome guy, but, the height would have been slightly better. Anyways, let's forget about this whole body and whatever.
All right, guys, here's what we have coming up on today's show.
All the Premier League action. As Cole Palmer was on fire, Manchester United had another stinker, and Manchester City were held to a draw by Newcastle. And we also look at all the action from around the footballing world. On today's edition of the Sporty Show, we first focus on the Madrid derby.
A little bit of some technical difficulties there, but don't worry, guys. We do have a lot to talk about, and we will be starting in the city that we all reside in, Madrid, because last night the three of us were at the Madrid derby. A video of that will be out later this evening, so make sure you check that out on our YouTube. But guys, this match had it all. I'm talking goals, red cards, a suspension of the match, players getting into it with one another, collisions of the head, everything you could think of this match had.
It was an entertaining one from start to finish. I think if I was being critical, I would have wanted a few more goals, but I think those are the sort of derbies you're not going to get teams, throwing the kitchen sink in the attack. They're going to be cautious. I think Real Madrid in their attacking build-up, they were, building up that attack slowly. They weren't being, they weren't rushing it. I think Atleti the same. They had their chances, but there was a cagey nature to the game from start to finish. And I think both sides were, first of all, we can't concede because, they don't want to come away with this being embarrassed by a bad result.
Klinton?
No, I mean, it was a fair result, if you ask me. I mean, from everything that went on during that game, I felt like 1-1 was a very good scoreline. If, say, Real Madrid had won, I think with how chaotic it was, it would have been even more chaotic. It was... I don't think Atletico Madrid performed to the level I wanted them to. I felt like this was the first proper team that Real Madrid would be facing. But after the game yesterday, it made me feel like there were other teams I was even more impressed with that faced Madrid, that Madrid won, than this Atletico from yesterday. We saw some really good chances from Atletico that he could have taken. And Sara would remember during the game, I was literally just screaming, like, I can't believe this guy is getting paid. Like, why is this guy getting paid and I'm watching him play? Like, you know, you see them driving all these G-Wagons and driving all these really beautiful cars, houses, getting paid thousands of euros a week, and somebody cannot control the ball. Like, this is you attacking, this is the goal. I remember there was a pass, I think it was Griezmann that threw this pass. I can't remember if it was Griezmann, but he threw this pass and we were just screaming, how come this guy's not able to just, you know, make very good...
Rodrigo de Paul.
Yeah, he was...
Rodrigo de Paul.
I think he's just forgotten that... Maybe he's just being a Messi fanboy to the point he's not forgotten that he's a footballer. You know, he was very annoying yesterday for some reason. But, I mean, it was very, very dramatic, and he ended 1. Atletico got a goal just literally close to the end of the game, and it was a decent result. You know, Vinicius is somebody that needs to see me at some point, you know, this season, because we need a serious conversation. There's something wrong with that guy, you know.
Can we, let's break it down bit by bit, and we'll get into Vinicius, because we do need to get a very important opinion here. Gary, joining us from Accra. Hello, Gary. Did you watch the match?
First things first.
Oh.
First things first. You guys were not the only 3 people in Madrid. I was there with my VR goggles as well. So yeah, take it easy.
Gary, how did you feel watching this match, though?
Game.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Really, really fun. Yeah, really, really. And to be fair, we did say before the match that the last couple of Madrid derbies have been very good. And we expected this to be tasty. I think it was Alex who said he was expecting something spicy about it. And Klinton and I also mentioned that this Simeone team has a certain different flavor to it. They are not as, and we were even using the word, you know, the what was it again, Sara? Those words, the cajones, the charua,
the grinta.
The grinta and stuff like that. So it's what we expected, and these guys served us a game. I mean, yeah, some of the unsavory bits we don't want to see in football, but you've got to admit that these are some of the things you want to see in derby games, right? You know, so...
I think you could feel that, like, the hatred was real in this one. And I mean, even being there more so. Like, Klinton, I remember, kept looking. They had all the Real Madrid fans tucked in a tiny little corner, you know, top of the stadium there. And Klinton just kept, I remember, looking and just being like, we still here? Like, because you could really tell, like, there's such a hate between these two sides. So let's break it down a little bit. 1-1, obviously, Alex, but... okay, I'm going to say what I think about this match and tell me if you agree. But for me, I've watched every Real Madrid match this season. I think this was the best game they played as a team, even more so than Alaves. And I know people say, well, Alaves, you know, they scored 4 goals, but they also, you know, had 2 goals scored on them. Like, they looked like they fell apart more, to be honest. And I know people say, well, Angel Correa scored in the final moments of this game. But that was just, to be fair, like a really good play from him. Whereas I thought Alaves, they just weren't clicking as much. This game, Real Madrid looked like the Real Madrid I know from last season. And I'm curious as if it's because maybe, like Klinton Cod has been saying, one man was not on the pitch. And my, oh my, did this team, like, I felt like this was Real Madrid, full-fledged. Like, yes, they were missing a few players. Yes, Jude Bellingham didn't have the best match. He's still kind of coming back into it. But I thought they played really well.
Listen, I mean, I would just comment just from there. Truth is, you remember we interviewed a few fans just before the game, and
yes.
I remember I asked one question. I said, Mbappe is not going to be in this game. Do you think you guys are going to have it easy? And most of the people who answered me, as a matter of fact, I would say 100% of them, they did say that they are even more scared with Mbappe not being there. And this is something, like you said, I've said it here, that this is going to be the Real Madrid that we know. Because what we've seen with this current Real Madrid is that Mbappe and Vinicius are just 2 people who are just kind of like confused as to who owns this left wing. So sometimes you see Mbappe running there, and Vinicius is confused as to where do I go now? And then he goes to the middle, which is not where you would say this is his best position, right? So you see both of them having this clash, and there was that confusion going on from that wing. And, you know, it made us feel like Mbappe coming to Real Madrid was not the best idea, right? Now, Mbappe not playing yesterday, like you said, I enjoyed Real Madrid. Yes, that was the first time I felt like this was what I wanted to see. Again, this was the Real Madrid I missed. I've not seen. Vinicius just knew that this is my position, right? Rodrigo knew that was his position, right? What's his name? Bellingham was just doing his job. Valverde was just that first half. It was just so solid. Like Atletico, they were suffering. Real Madrid was Real Madrid again. And I was just, it just gave me this pleasure. The only thing that didn't happen was the fact that we didn't see that galore of goals that we would have expected. But then again, this is Atletico. They are not just some little team. They defended so well. I was really impressed with their defense, right? Everything was just solid. We were just looking for that drama that you would expect to see in games. Say, for example, we are going to come into Chelsea eventually, right? Because it was just some serious goal galore from just one person. But we were expecting that same thing to happen yesterday, to say, okay, Madrid scores, Atletico will reply, and then there's another one. But, at some point they had to pause the game. It was almost like there was some level of one dull moment going on, which was why I felt like I didn't enjoy the game to the point where it was just, for me, it was like war. It wasn't like a game of football that we're meant to enjoy. Like fans throwing stuff into the pitch. There were just so many disgusting things going on that game yesterday, man.
Yeah, I think, looking at it, I think Real Madrid, they played well, but I don't think they're at their best. I think when you look at the chances that they had, I think 12 shots, 4 on target. I feel like their creation in the final third wasn't at its best. I think the build-up play was good. I think when you look at how well Valverde played, I think even Bellingham in parts, he seemed to be playing further forward in the beginning and then sort of dropped back a little bit into the second half, and he was getting involved with the play a lot more defensively, and you could see some of the runs he made, some of the balls Valverde played, some of the balls that Modric played as well. The midfield, I think, played really well. I think it was just maybe a lack of a link between the midfield and the attack. Obviously, it was a good finish from Militao for the opening goal. But I feel like when I see what I saw against Alaves, I feel like it was going in the right direction with the three of them, with Vinicius, with Mbappe and Rodrigo. Now we know that Mbappe is going to be back potentially for the Lille game this week in the Champions League. So, yeah, I think it was also a case of playing against Atleti. Atleti are going to put up a stern test. They put 5 at the back. They were playing 3 centre-backs and wing-backs. So Simeone, was building up for a defensive performance. He wanted to frustrate Real Madrid. And I think, like Klinton said, this is their toughest test to date. So I think they did well, but I think there are things to improve on from Real Madrid's perspective.
I'm going to quickly just jump to our comments here because everyone's so angry all the time. Markinde says Sarah's favorite team is Atletico. No, it's not. She just supports Barcelona. She's a Real Madrid hater. I definitely support Barcelona. Atleti are not my team, and I actually just gave Real Madrid a compliment, so not sure where that's going. He also says Real Madrid deserve to win. Now you're saying Atletico is not the proper team you want. Klinton, I think that was that comment that you said. I think you were just trying to say that you expected more from Atleti. I don't know, there's so much anger on a Monday. I think everyone needs to relax. I also think a draw is really fair for this game. I don't think Real deserved to win. I don't think Atleti deserved to win.
Yep. I mean,
Gary, what do you think?
The moment Atleti scored the goal, remember when we were watching the game, I said at the spot.
Oh, me and...
Well, no, I mean, that was the conversation. I was saying Atleti just needs, because I felt like this game, it would be best to end in a draw. Both of them, they deserve a goal. They deserve to just go home with, we tried our best. And you didn't win me, I didn't win you. Especially with the kind of energy that was going on that particular game yesterday with Vinicius. Vinicius acting like a baby as usual. Sometimes, you could say his reactions is justifiable. But yesterday's one, I just felt he was overdoing it. But yeah, let's go to Gary.
Yeah, Gary, talk to me about if you thought this was a fair result between the two.
So, what I tweeted after the game was that there was a certain nastiness and an edge to the game that I did not like. I couldn't place my hands, but there was a bit of, there's derby nastiness and there's actual nastiness, and I'm happy you used the word like you could taste the hate. That's probably what I couldn't feel here. But I mean, watching from here, you're like, okay, now back to the football. I thought Atleti were probably. They didn't have enough chances. They didn't have a lot of chances. Both sides did not have a lot of chances. The big chances created, I think at the time I checked, were 1-0. I think that's what it was. But I thought Atleti were better value for winning the game. That's what I thought. That they were the likelier of the two sides to win the game. So yeah, I don't know if you guys agree, but I thought it was a very good game. Like I said, it was watchable, it was fine, and yeah, that. But I thought Atleti should have carried the day because you remember we watched the last 5 games, the form guide of the two teams, and Atleti had the better advantage coming into this game. I felt like yesterday they should have won it, but yeah, it was an even game, but I thought Atleti should have done better in taking their chances. If they had kept their temperament a bit on the low, I think they could have done more damage.
I think it was once Julian Alvarez came off that really was a big miss for Atleti, and then Real started really pressing, and I thought they were actually going to win the match. I thought Real maybe were going to score a second goal. We saw, players like Rudiger and Ferland Mendy played brilliantly yesterday. I thought, really helping out in the back, but also pushing up, creating chances on the wing. But I don't know. I do think this is a fair result. It doesn't seem like Alex, here, Markinde says this because let's get into the drama with the fans, because when we were there yesterday, we obviously saw Courtois taking his time, provoking the fans, and the fans start throwing foreign objects. We weren't really sure. We saw some lighters, some
he
bottles.
was provoking the fans.
Of course he was.
No, but listen.
What do you mean?
But wait. No, Gary.
We didn't see
hold
that.
on.
Oh,
Gary,
they
hold
didn't
on.
show it on TV.
Gary, hold on. Gary, hold on.
That's the perspective I needed from Klinton. Klinton, tell me, talk to me.
No, but listen, I think everybody would have different opinion as to what you would define as upsetting the fans, right?
No, the word was provoking.
Or provoking. Okay,
Yeah.
upsetting or provoking. I would probably see it nearly the same, right? When it comes to in terms of football. Now, I only saw a goalkeeper who was acting like a goalkeeper, trying to be wise, especially when you are leading, right? I think I've seen. This is very normal in football. Yeah, you are leading, and you are the away team playing in the Metropolitano. This is one goal up. All you're just trying to do at this point is you're trying to kill time. Yeah. Now, what I thought was going on was fans, he was being a goalkeeper. Fans were angry, and then he was banking on their anger. And then they were even getting more upset. I don't know, Gary, in Africa or in Nigeria or Ghana, right?
That's provoking, then.
No.
Yeah, exactly, Gary. Exactly. Even if he's wasting time, that's provoking.
But why do you have... No, Gary, listen. Gary, that's why I said this is very normal as a goalkeeper in football. You have a referee right there, yeah? What's his job? The job is to give you a yellow card.
But we're not saying if it's right or wrong. We're just saying that's what he was doing.
No, he was. But what I'm saying is, why... Listen, my problem here was the Atleti fans. It wasn't even Courtois to me. Like I said, Courtois was acting what every single goalkeeper would do in that particular moment. Right? If you were the goalkeeper, I'm sure your coach would have said, how do you... There are some... I've seen this in the Premier League where where people are trying to kill time, right? You see one of those balls where you could easily just catch. They catch it and then dive to the ground, right? Courtois was just doing his own version of that yesterday. This was literally what was pissing the fans off. And mind you, he was doing it it was literally just at the back of the real fans that were jumping and screaming.
Clinton,
yeah.
A key context is that
he used to play for them.
Is a former Atleti player.
Okay, hang on.
That's the key context. Who served them well and won things with them and left them,
I like the fact that you said he's a former. He's not a player for them, right? Listen, you see,
but
for me,
that's what annoys. I mean, if you are my ex, bro, if you are my ex,
yes,
and you know, I'm going with this. Like,
yes.
If you're any random girl and you are with your new guy, you are chilling at the, like that's not my problem. If you're my ex and we used to have a good time, we had... And
then you start flashing your boyfriend.
We did good stuff. Yeah, we did good stuff, and you are now going to show it in my face like, yo, that's a whole new level of, like,
But you see, at that point, Gary, now let's take it just slightly further now. At that point, when she's flashing the new boyfriend, I was trying to, at that point, if you now decide to start being violent towards her, do you know what's going to happen? You are probably going to end up in jail.
Are we still talking about football?
No,
I've
wait, hang on,
I've
no,
lost
wait,
it.
wait,
No,
no, but hang on. Let's finish
No,
it.
no, no, no.
You
Because
guys
I love,
reading
I
a
love the
book or something?
analogy. I love the analogy,
This is
right? I
important.
love the fact that he used that one, right? At that point, if she is pissing you off with the new, or she's trying to provoke you with the new boyfriend, maybe she's telling you that my boyfriend is bought me this Lamborghini, whereas you were doing Uber all the times I was with you,
Uber?
right? At that point, what do you
Yeah.
have to do? You have to motivate yourself and go get yourself a Lamborghini. But if you want to say, you know what? You are provoking me, I'm going to come punch you. What's going to happen to you? You're going to end up in jail because you have the police. The ref at that point was the police. And he should be controlling it.
But Sarah, Alex, Klinton, another context is that before the game, the ultras, remember, they had served notice that they were going to wear masks so that nobody was going to see them on camera if they did anything stupid. Klinton, they actually said that before the game. The Atleti fans actually said that before the game.
Well, I mean, at the end, well, maybe that's this us being too forward. You know, irrespective of what happened, I felt like the Atleti fans, they were absolutely wrong in that behavior, throwing stuff into the pitch and trying to, like, if I was Courtois, I would tell you for free right now, if I was Courtois, my kind of personality, I thought Courtois
Klinton, you'd already be in jail.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
You said no chance.
No, but fact is, I would have pissed them off even more.
Ancelotti would have had to take you off.
No, they would have said, Klinton, listen, leaving the stadium today, we're using a chopper or an helicopter. Because you're not going to, these people are going, because I would have done, because we are playing our game. I'm being a goalkeeper, right? We are leading. I'm trying to kill time. Like, this is what happens in football, whether you like it or not. Everybody does this. Even Onana is the worst. Like, it's not just even Onana. I don't think there's any goalkeeper you talk to me about now that don't do this. Like you said, maybe the point here is the fact that he used to be an ex-goalkeeper. Maybe the team did make Courtois who he is today, right? And maybe that's what he should have considered. But then if we want to go by the books, we want to go by the context, he was a former player. Right now, his allegiance is to Real Madrid, okay? And anything that means, any action that means he's trying to get them a win is fine. So long he's not getting a yellow card or a red card, that's why you have a referee there. That's all matters to me. This is the law. This is the football regulations. You have a ref and let him be handling it.
I think at the end of the day, no matter how much you provoke fans, adults should be able to not throw things at another adult.
Absolutely.
Just because you're getting angry, it's not an excuse to throw something at a player. You know, he's doing his job. Yes, you're there to enjoy yourself and, have fun at the football. I'm all for passion and, maybe, shouting at the goalkeeper or, saying, oh, you did this wrong or you should have done that or, with maybe a few expletives in there as it usually is at the football. But as an adult, throwing stuff at another adult who's just playing football, I know it's, simpling it down a little bit, but it's disgusting and it's unacceptable. And then to do that in front of your kids, teaching your kids that that's acceptable, it's not a way to set behavioural acceptance, accepted behaviour to them. So it's disgusting behaviour at the end of the day, and hopefully the people that were found out, that were found out and do get found out, get punished.
They did not pause the game because of Courtois. They paused the games because of the actions of the fans. I know you could argue to say it was as a result of what Courtois did that led to the action, but like you said, these are grown-up adults. These are people who, before they were able to, you spent money buying this ticket to go watch such a big game, right? The least you can do is to enjoy the game. Why are you throwing stuff into the pitch, for Christ's sake?
Yeah, I think we kind of went in a different direction here. I think we absolutely all can agree there's no room in football for this kind of behavior from any fans, from anyone watching this game. We don't want to see people get hurt, and we don't want to, like Alex said, we don't want that kind of attitude to be passed on to other fans or children even. I think we all can agree on that. But I was going to comment on what people are saying here. Markinde and Lydia are saying that these fans started doing this and they were time wasting, and that actually played into Atleti's favor. When Alex and I actually were saying this was the worst thing Atletico could have done, because once the suspension happened and they came back on, my God, Real Madrid were outplaying Atleti by a country mile. Like this, and I was thinking, if in the end Atleti were to have lost this game, it would be because of the fans. It would be because of the fans.
Definitely.
They really got, listen, Arda Güler came out and said that Simeone teaches us to enjoy suffering, because in the last 9 matches that Atleti...
Arda Turan.
Yes. What?
Sorry, I thought you said Aragula.
I may have said Arda Güler. Arda Turan, sorry. Former Atleti footballer, obviously. He said, yeah, Simeone taught us to enjoy suffering because in the last 9 matches that Atleti have played, 6 of their goals have come in 90-plus minutes. This is Atleti football. This is what they do. So, listen, they got there in the end, but in no way did this play an advantage to Atleti. This now makes you look, the team Atleti itself is kind of being looked down upon because of foolish fans. And they were getting outplayed by Real Madrid. Nothing about this was for Atleti. And I don't want to hear that because being at the game, there was a moment I thought Real were going to go 2 up. Like there were a few moments, in fact, and they got really lucky. Like, would you not agree?
Yeah, no, I think it is, at the end of the day, it's those moments like that. You saw Simeone, you saw, I think it was Koke who went over to the fans, he was pleading with them, like, just stop.
Jimenez, Koke, and Simeone.
Yeah, to be honest, it's quite frankly childish behaviour. If you're going to go to a football match and throw something at someone because you can't control your anger because they're winding you up, then you need to grow up at the end of the day, really. So, yeah, I think when you look at it, and we said at the time, like you said, it was good for Real Madrid. It slowed the game down. Atleti were perhaps getting in a little bit of momentum towards that beginning of the second half. And, yeah, watching the last 10 minutes, I think Real Madrid could have nicked a second.
Absolutely. Before we move on from this game, Klinton, let's talk about Vinicius Jr. and his attitude in this one.
Yeah, I felt like irrespective of what happens to you, whatever has a start should have an end, right? And something I've noticed with Vinicius is Vinicius just doesn't like, giving up on something. And when you were a child and they've refused you from going out to play, this was me back then, I'll start nagging. Like, every time I need to go and watch play, every time my sister is watching me, they don't send out to go and do this one. Why is that? It's always me. And then you go and sit down, and 2 minutes later you're like, that's why last week I give you money, you went to eat my money, and then you keep quiet for like 30 seconds, and then you would think about your life for like, for maybe let's say a few more seconds, and you'd be like, they went to that party, they now served us cook, you drank half of my cook, I did not give me the other half. God will punish you. God will punish you. Like, this is exactly what I see Vinicius doing on the pitch, and it's so annoying. Like, sometimes just allow things. This is what adulting means. Listen, don't get me wrong. Vinicius might have his points. I don't know the conversation going on the pitch. Like, this is the area we don't know when it comes to investigating this kind of thing. Maybe whoever is speaking to is probably saying things that might aggravate his behavior at that point, right? I don't know what it is. But from what we see from the outside, all we see is just somebody nagging, right? Sometimes the players are done and they are just walking to their own, and you're seeing Vinicius still trying to walk to them and he's still trying to nag. Like, listen, if I was a footballer, somebody like Vinicius, right? If he was behaving like this to me, sorry guys, I will punch Vinicius. Like, my guy would probably miss like 4 matches from maybe his eyes swollen or something. Because those kind of human beings, they would talk you into doing what you're not supposed to do. I don't understand what kind of training course this athletic or whoever the athletic player was, or all the people that Vinicius always nags to. I don't know what training. Maybe they've done some kind of anger management that means that when Vinicius is nagging, they just already know that this is going to be Vinicius. Let's just allow him just whine. But I don't see that behavior in any players.
I think they want him to nag. They want him to whine. What they focus on is they bother him, and then he has this reaction, and then it takes away from his game because he's focused on complaining and whining and whatever it may be versus focusing on the football, which we know he's so good at. Unfortunately for Vinny, I think we all know he is one of the best players in the world right now. He's brilliant. He's so fun to watch. I mean, we've seen this nutmeg on Lenormand last night. It's gone viral. We know what he's capable of, but there is another side that you think, it would just be nicer if you didn't complain. Like, I would just have, I would enjoy watching you more. Like, when I watch Federico Valverde, to all the Real Madrid players, this is who you need to look up to, because he is so under the radar in all forms, I feel. Like, he gets fouled, he doesn't say anything, he never opens his mouth. I love the attitude because he lets his talent do the talking, and he's incredible.
He's a killer as well. Some of the tackles he makes, some of the passes.
That's the thing. Like, he'll go in and but that's how he'll argue. He doesn't complain. And I love that. Like, I really admire him as a player in all ways.
So who are we speaking about now?
Federico Valverde.
Oh, I mean, he's the best player in Real Madrid.
But what I'm saying, but I'm not just talking about the talent. I'm saying,
you're speaking about the attitude.
Don't you think?
No,
like,
of course,
he's
absolutely,
so admirable.
Absolutely. I mean,
Even
that's...
Jude Bellingham yesterday, I don't know if you saw this, but at one point, he was getting tired, you were saying, closer to when he was getting subbed off, and he made a silly pass, and he just started smashing the ground. And I was like, I understand it's frustrating, but I see this, and I'm like, oh, get up and go chase the ball. Like, don't, like, I think sometimes, like, these, it's children antics. I don't know how to explain it. Like...
Don't get me wrong, though. I've seen Vinicius. Sometimes it feels like Vinicius has his target for people he wants to have that certain behavior to. I've seen him act like an adult. Yeah, where, let's say, somebody fouls him, and he's even a ridiculous foul where you think Vinicius is going to get up and he's going to start, maybe give you 10 times of what we saw yesterday. And it's like going to say, yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And you're like, hang on, is there some medication this guy takes before he comes to the pitch that when he feels, he just touches his head and he start getting upset? Or maybe, again, at some point, remember during the game I said to you, today they're not letting Vinicius pass. Yeah, and then during that nagging, if you noticed, when he nagged, and then he was able to pass the guy he was nagging, and then he took the ball, and then I think they eventually kicked the ball, and it became a corner, and then he was nagging again, like, yeah, I passed you, and it was giving me that feeling of, you know what kids do, where it's like, yeah, I want to show you what I can do, and then I get to do it, and then I'm coming to your face to tell you, yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I did it. You know, it's almost like he's forgetting that. Listen, this is a teamwork. We are here to play. I'm not here to. This game is not me versus you. This game is literally Atletico versus Real Madrid, right? And we are trying to win. And this is where I have issues with Vinicius. Speaking about our players, Valverde. Yeah, you know, I would never speak about Madrid without speaking about how great this guy is. He's just there to play football. And when you look at him on the pitch, he's playing football. There's no room to start There's no room to start complaining. He gets fouls. He looks at the ref to see where this foul is going to. If it's for them, he's already thinking about what to do with the ball. If it's against them, he's already trying to see how to form just so they don't go doing crazy things or finding a way to score them. Like, this is, to me, this is what you should be doing on the pitch. This is your job as a footballer. But I just think Vinicius really has to calm down, you know?
I think it does. It goes from person to person. I think some people play better when they're, going up against someone and they're perhaps talking back to them and the other person's, throwing insults their way or winding them up. I think some people, they thrive off that sort of energy, but, some people prefer to just concentrate on the game. And I think, sometimes you do see Vinny, when he is in the heat at the moment, he can play really well and he can use that as motivation. But I think sometimes when it gets too much, it does affect his play. I do also think for a player like Vinny, who's come under so much abuse from the fans, I don't know the sort of abuse that he receives, the racist abuse that we've talked about in the past. You're always, without even wanting to be, you're going to be on edge. And I think when someone is in your ear the whole time, you're going to be on edge. You're going to want to react. You're going to be sort of a bit tense. So I think that is something that maybe he and the coaching staff at Real Madrid will want to try and work on. That it's difficult. I can't say what it's like to play in front of 70,000 people. I've never done it. I don't know what the pressure feels like, but I feel like he's got to work out whether he plays better being confrontational or just concentrating on his own football.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's move along. It's definitely interesting because we all are curious as how Real Madrid are going to play, whether it's with Mbappe or without, drawing to Atleti, because Barcelona have finally dropped points in La Liga. So this makes it very interesting in the table. And no less did they lose, Gary, to Osasuna. And last week,
Finally
me and you, Gary...
Points.
Pardon me.
Finally dropped points.
I know.
Finally
you know what?
dropped points.
I had a lot of people messaging me, and it makes me happy because I realize I'm the biggest Barcelona fan you guys know. They all come to me, and I'm thinking, oh, it's amazing because I love my team so much. Not what I saw on Saturday, though. But it was 7 games won. Had to happen. And let me tell you, with that lineup, I think I told you guys in group chat, they were not winning. From the moment the lineup was released, I said, oh no, Osasuna are winning this game. Because it was not good from Hansi Flick. Here's what the manager had to say after the match, and then we'll discuss.
It was not our best match today. So in the first half, I think we made a lot of mistakes. Or it's not normal usually that we play like this. And But at the end, we had a lot of changes in the team, and you know, this is sorry for that, but this is maybe one reason for that. But I think it was necessary because we had so many matches, and a lot of players had played so many minutes, and we have to take care. I have to take care. That's my responsibility. And if you want to blame someone for this defeat, and take me, it's okay. I'm really. I think we are on the right way. And on Tuesday, it's a really important match in the Champions League, and we have only 2 days to prepare well, to recover and everything. So we will do that, and hopefully then we see the other face from our team.
So from that, Gary, I am seeing that, you know, Hansi Flick is taking some sort of accountability, but he also still kind of seems to be motivated and optimistic, which I can't tell if I like or not, because I don't know if it's some blind optimism. But I will say I appreciate the fact that he did try to rest Rafinha and Lamine Yamal because they have played so much. But when you don't have those two on top of Frankie de Jong and Gavi, you know, Eric Garcia playing in the middle. What is that? You have Dominguez in the back. You know, you have Gerard Martin. They had like 7 Messia players on the bench. It's not like they had their full squad and they were just rotating, right? I just think it was bound to fail because they were already so depleted. Gary, what do you think?
First of all, I think Hansi Flick was probably trying to experiment with his own capabilities, the team's capabilities. And somewhere, if you asked him privately, in a very private corner somewhere, he'd say that was deliberate. Because the season is long. He's got to know what's going to happen. You know, the last time we were saying that he rotated that Barca defense and he still won was it by 5 goals or something like that? That's the other week, right? He's got to know, definitely got to know that at some point in this season, Lamine Yamal may break down because he's had too many games. So he's just testing, and today he was well and truly beating. It gives him an idea of what the strengths of his side is or are, or the strengths are, what he has to do and how to, because yesterday was absolutely bad. Jules Koundé was tortured throughout.
Yep.
I mean, Zaragoza tortured him throughout. Tortured. Sergio Dominguez, terrible performance. He was caught flat-footed before Zaragoza scored, and then they split the defense. You know, he considered the penalty. Kubasi was beaten. I mean, who is normally solid, he was beaten in the air for the first goal throughout the game. He couldn't handle Budimir at all. Gerard Martin, like you said, they dribbled past him several times. He struggled to impact on the game in the final third. All of Barcelona's defenders struggled, which meant that the keeper, who is not the best on the best of days, who is not very good on the best of days, was well beaten because he was playing behind the defense that struggled with the press from Osasuna. So there was that. It means then that Hansi Flick has to go look at the team B, team C, work on their intensity, you know, and that's why he would speak the way he spoke. You talked about blind optimism. I don't see blind optimism. I see a realist who knows that, look, and it's a message to the entire team that we've won 7 games, but that's when we have an almost full complement of the squad. We have to start thinking, if we want to win this thing, look at what Real Madrid are doing. They are he's going to tell them in the room, in the secret chambers of the room, that look at those guys there with their team B and a half. They are winning games and they are not even up to that level. So we need to have a team B like that is as good as theirs. And that's the message for them. So, yeah, Barcelona were not good, but I can see why the coach was not too flustered with it because, you know, the entire, whether it was Pablo Torre, Eric Garcia, Pedri, nobody had a 6/10 for me, really, you know. So, yeah, maybe Paul Victor, maybe Justin.
Maybe Lamine Yamal still came on, still scored a screamer from outside the box. the one light that we have to hold on. Actually, and Frankie de Jong will be available for Barcelona's match against Young Boys. Lydia said Hansi Flick probably should have started this lineup against Young Boys, and I don't think you're wrong with that. But let's move on to the Premier League because we only have about 20 minutes left, and I mean, what happened this weekend? Klinton, I'm going to give you the option of where you would like to start, with Cole Palmer or with Erik ten Hag.
Of course, he's going to start with Cole Palmer. Of course, he's going to start with Cole Palmer.
I mean, I was going to start with Hansi Flick, actually. Let's go back a bit.
Okay, sorry. Well,
it's literally just.
You're that scared of talking about Ten Hag.
No,
I'm not. You don't want to go to the Premier League.
I'm not talking about Ten Hag today. That guy should just go and fam. He should go and take. Like Nigerians would say, "No, should go and warm up and eat." You guys will not understand that, but maybe Gary would understand that one. But you see, Hansi Flick did accept. He understood where the problem was. He knew it was his fault. There was nothing like blaming anything. This is something I always would expect from Ten Hag, which is what I was going to relate between the two managers. One person knew that, I was trying to do an experiment and it just didn't work. Everybody knew that, okay, that was him. For me, there was you just knew it was an experiment. Which game would he play without having Lamine Yamal start? Or even the guy who is now somebody who's just banging in goals. What's his name? Rafinha. Like, why? Who does that, right? But you could clearly tell that, okay, he wants to. They've been winning games. Apart from Monaco in Champions League that they lost, which you would understand that, okay, they had a red card and it just didn't go their way, right? This was just a clear experiment to say, right, let me see what my Barcelona is capable of doing without having these two star boys in the team. And it didn't work. And he accepted defeat. He said, no, don't blame the players, blame me. These boys have been playing, so that one is acceptable. Okay, listen, that's the kind of defeat I would accept from a manager. But when it comes to Ten Hag, right, he's only spiritual. That one, you would just know that he needs a couple of pastors to lay hands on those bowed to say, you need, listen, listen, and I'm not talking about just one pastor, at least 4 to 5 of them. And I'm talking about strong ones that have different branches in different countries. Like people like Pastor Chris, you have somebody like E.A. Adeboye, who has a lot of churches, right now in Accra. They need to lay hands on Ten Hag because he's actually pissing a lot of us off. If they need a manager to coach that team, I am available. I know I will do better. These guys, I've said it so many times, the problem here is no longer the institution. It's the manager that's the problem.
Can I add fuel to the fire?
If you want to put petrol.
Yes, I want to pour it on. Let's, poor Markanday thought that Klinton was going to talk poorly about Hansi Flick. Let's go see what Erik ten Hag had to say after this match regarding his position at Manchester United. Hold on, Klinton.
Do you worry that the owners may have a different view, that they may feel the only way that this situation can improve, that the team can get better, is a different manager in charge?
No, I'm not thinking about this. I think we all made in togetherness this decision to stay together as an ownership, as a leadership group in the summer. And also we made the decision also from a clear review and what we have to improve as an organization and how we want to construct the squad. And they're all decision making in togetherness, but we knew that it would take some time because how the window went, some players late in, like now Ugarte, we have to integrate him now. Also, we had to make some improvement in organization. We still have to do with some injuries, also from impact players, and I think we will get better there. And yeah, we need some time, and we all there on one page, on one boat together. The ownership, the leadership group, the staff, and the players group as well. So no, I don't have that concern.
From bad to worse for United fans.
Honestly,
we need some time.
We need some time. No, honestly, listen. If they are talking about who are Yahoo boys, when they say they should start EFCC in Nigeria should be arresting Yahoo boys. Ten Hag Ten Hag, they need to come to Old Trafford. But then again, when I hear him speak like this, I feel very, like, I even pity him. I feel like, why is he putting himself through this? If it's not working for you, just say it's not happening for me. Go find, maybe he might be better off in another team. Who knows? Maybe Manchester United is not a team where he should be coaching. It's not happening. I understand, yes, I know they're all trying to get money, but fam, don't just tarnish your image. Look, everyone is literally praying evil prayer. Do you know how many? There was one video I was watching, one guy was pouring water in his head. I think Sara sent me the video. Like, the people are going through, they said in all the Nigerian hospitals now, right now, people going through mental health issues, it's all Manchester United fans. And it's really sad. Like, our medical workforce now are going through a lot. People now are they are not even encouraging people now to go and start studying mental health, not nursing. Why? Because Manchester United exists. These are the things that I'm saying, Ten Hag, if it's not for you, go do it somewhere else. There's no time. Let's go on to another. I don't want to speak about Manchester United again, man.
Interestingly enough, on our Twitter page, we asked you guys if you think that Ten Hag will remain Manchester United's coach until the end of the season. And right now, it's 50-50. And I'm a little bit concerned about some of you that are voting. Because, Gary, I think it's pretty obvious that we all know Ten Hag has to go.
No. You see, we may know that he has to go. Whether we want him to go is another matter. Particularly
no, Gary. I didn't ask what you want. I said I asked what you do, because me and you are on the same page. Because every week I will enjoy this fire.
Gary, see, when you get to hell, right? They will give you a mansion. And the mansion, right? The kind of fire that will be burning inside is brimstone.
When? He didn't say if, he said when. Horrible. Okay, let's move along from Manchester United, because we have to talk a little bit about Cole Palmer, the first player ever to score not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 goals in a first half. In the Premier League. No player has ever done it. And my, oh my, Alex, that free kick was something else.
It was. I mean, the whole performance, you look at not just the goals, I think that pass that he played over the top to Nicholas Jackson, where...
Oh, you brought up Nicholas Jackson in the show today. Well in.
If Nicholas Jackson had finished that, it would have been the best assist I've ever seen in my life. The way he, first time, just hit the ball and it curved over the defence, it was a joy to watch. And he really is. I think he's, he reminds me of, similar type of player is probably the wrong way to say it, but similar just feel about it as Eden Hazard. He has that ease on the ball. He's so technically gifted. He just plays like he's not bothered. He just goes about his business. He scores goals. He's not overthinking things. He's just a fantastic player. And I think when I look at him in that Chelsea side, I think he brings so much, and I can see him continuing on this run for many years to come. And Chelsea, I think you could say over the last 5 years, this has probably been the best signing in the Premier League over the last 5 years.
Sure, absolutely. Head over to our Twitter page to vote if you think Chelsea will finish in the top 4 in the Premier League and whether Cole Palmer will get in the Premier League's best 11. But I think we know the answer to that one. Gary, what do you think? Chelsea making a run here for the top 4?
Yeah, I mean, if they keep on playing like this, it's difficult not to see them get in there. Maresca is getting, all his bluster and all his, what was it he was doing when he came? His insistence on doing things his way and saying, I don't want this player and this player. And that's what you want from a coach. You want him to back up his tough talk, right? And he's basically shutting people up. He's getting the best out of his what he has at the moment, and it's nice to see. From a player's point of view, it looks like the players are enjoying their football. There seems to be a healthy competition going. And I mean, I am not happy for Chelsea, but if you are a Chelsea fan, I'm happy for you, just to the extent that you stay out of my way as an Arsenal fan. However, there's something I need to point out. Is it me or Christopher Nkunku, guys? He doesn't seem to be too happy, or the rivalry between him and Palmer. He doesn't seem to be too happy when Palmer is having a good day. I don't know. It's like, he becomes suddenly too selfish.
Obviously, because we have just 1 minute left, this is a conversation we definitely have to.
4 minutes left.
Oh, we have 4 minutes.
Go, run.
Sorry. Continue. Sorry, because I was literally.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the point. It just feels like, Nkunku, you know, like, because when Palmer is first choice, Nkunku is not first choice, obviously. You know, so I just have but maybe we have a full season to see. Maybe it's just me being, paranoid and throwing an allegation at the poor young man. But yeah.
No, but then again, Gary, what would you expect at the end when you see somebody being who you probably wish to be, or you wish this is
Then just
how
do
you
better.
perform?
Just play better.
He said, pick up
That's what
your
you said.
pants and put them on and get out
No,
there.
that's what Klinton said. That's what Klinton said about we spoke about something, and you said, you know, I mean, when we did the Courtois argument, you said, well, if Atletico Madrid are not, and you see your accent, then do better. Then
True.
work harder, buy a bigger car, right?
Go and score
Just
6 goals first half.
Score 6 goals. So like Nkunku scored a hat trick the other day. Palmer
And it was against Barnsley. It was against what's the name of that team? That League 2.
You got this.
Well, Barrow, is it?
Yes,
It's
Barrow.
Barrow, yeah. So that's what
you
killed.
score
That's
3,
what killed.
I score 4. You score 5, I score 6. Then we're moving.
It's not a bad competition.
But mind you, if Cole Palmer scores 4 goals first half against Brighton, and Nkunku scores 4 goals against Barrow first half, you know it's not the same though. No, it's definitely
It's not the same.
Come
But
on.
it's still 4. It's still 4.
It's still 4, but it's not 4 against the same caliber of team. That's what I'm trying to say. Cole Palmer, we cannot just take it away from him. I feel like Cole Palmer right now, he's literally the best player. I mean, I don't know if you know, it's really hard to compare him to Haaland currently. You know, because obviously Haaland is a striker, he's doing his job. But for a midfielder, doing this is crazy. Like I feel like Cole Palmer is doing the unthinkable. He's literally the best. And listen, sometimes when I think about the fact that he knew what he wanted and left Manchester City, that's the best decision he ever made. Because who knows, if he stayed in Manchester City, we probably wouldn't have seen this person. Maybe Phil Foden would have still been the guy who is still shining, without you knowing that there's this man sitting there warming benches every single day who could have been probably the best player in Premier League at some point if he had made the move. Thank God he did make the move.
Agreed.
And we are now seeing who he is now.
Brilliant.
Agreed.
Well, 50% of you guys think that Chelsea will be a contender to win the Premier League.
Chelsea is definitely getting to champions. They are
No. This is to win the Premier League. 50-50 here between you guys. Well, Alex is feeling pretty over there because obviously a Blues fan, but let's see. Guys, that's all we have time for today. Mondays are a day where we need like 4 hours. We need to sit down, we need to have like a drink and really go over it. Champions League this week too.
Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. Just 30 seconds. That game did not live up to the expectation I wanted it to, but we're still going to come and speak about that game in the future.
Okay, there you go, guys. Yeah, see, we don't even have enough time, but we will be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. It's Champions League week. We're so back. We are so back, guys. After this, La Liga Hypermotion, Cartagena and Racing. Make sure you stay tuned for that, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, enjoy the football.
Eh, well, TTT.